Students, good day. Today we're going to create your lesson 10 activities advanced form. So we're going to start with your project 10-1, create a multiple item form. In your job as a travel agent at Margis Travel, you want to create a form that display multiple database records but that is more customizable than a data sheet. You use the multiple items tool to create the form. So let's get ready and launch our Access if it is not already running. In our backstage view, we're going to click open. And of course, we're going to locate our project 10 data files in our computer. So in our project 10 data files, we're going to click merge, we're going to open Margis Events, Database, and click open. Next, we're going to click enabled content so that we can modify the database. And instruction number 2, we're going to save the database as Margis Events XXX, where the XX is our initial. So let's go to your file, save database as, and we're going to save this as Margis Events and our initial. And of course, we're going to save this in our folder and click save. Next, click enabled content. Next, instruction number 3, in navigation pane, double click the events table to open it. So we have your navigation pane, click events table to open the object. Instruction number 4, on the create tab in the forms group, click more form button and then click multiple item button on the menu that appear. So let's go to your create tab, forms group, more forms, then multiple items. Next, scroll down to the right to view the multiple records on the form. So in our form, we can see multiple records. So we can scroll up and down to view all the records or scroll left to right to view the record. Instruction number 6, click the File tab and click Save. So in our Events Form tab, click Save. In the Save As dialog box, we're going to key in Events Multiple and click OK. So we're going to key in Events Multiple as the name of our form and click OK. Next, click the close button to close the Events Multiple form. So right click, then click close to close Event Multiple form, and of course right click on the events table and click close as well. Instruction number 10, close the database and leave access open for our next project. And that's it for your project 10-1, create multiple item form. Let's proceed with your project 10-2, create a split form. Your brother who owns Wingtip Toys wants to be able to see 2 views of his inventory data at the same time, in the form view and datasheet view. She asks you to help create a split form and to modify it so that the datasheet is on the tab. So again, let's get ready and launch our Access. In our backstage view, we're going to locate again our project 10 data files. Next, in our project 10 data files, we're going to select Toy Stack Database and click Open. I'm going to click Enabled Content so that we can modify our database. Instruction number 2, we need to save this database as Toy Stack XXX, where the XX is our initial. Of course, we're going to save this in our answer folder and click save. Again, click enabled content so that we can modify our database. Instruction number 2, in the navigation pane, double click inventory table to open the object. Instruction number 3, on the create tab in the forms group, click form, more form button, and then click the split button. So let's go to your create tab, forms group, more forms button, and split form. The menu that appears to create the form and display it in a form view, and of course in the datasheet view at the same time. So we notice that we have two views that we can see at the same time in our database. At the upper portion of our screen is the form view, and at the lower portion is our datasheet view. Next, instruction number 5, on the home tab in the views group, click view button and click design view. So let's go to your home tab, view group, and we're going to select design view. Next, we're going to press F4 to display our property sheet, or we can go to your form design tools, design tab, tools group, and property sheet. Instruction number 7, click the form in the drop-down list at the top and click Format tab if necessary. So by default, it is selected, our form, and Format tab is activated by default. Instruction number 8, scroll down to the split form orientation property and click down arrow and click datasheet on top. So we're going to go to your split form orientation, this one, and we're going to select datasheet on top. Next, click the close button to close the property window. So we're going to click this close button to close our property sheet window. And instruction number 10, on the home tab in the views group, click view button and click layout view to display the split form with a datasheet on top. So let's go again to your home tab, views group, and layout view. Now this time we can see that we again have two views for our database, and this time the datasheet view is on the top of our form view. Instruction number 11, click the File tab and click Save. So we're going to go to your Inventory tab and click Save button. Next, in Save As dialog box that appears, we're going to key in Inventory Split and click OK. So Inventory Split. Then we're going to click OK button. Instruction number 13, close the button. Close the button to close the inventory split form. So right click on our tab, then click close. Next, we're going to close the inventory table. So right click on the tab and then click close again. And of course, instruction number 15, close the database. And that's it, students, for your project 10-2, create a split form. Let's proceed with your project 10-3, create a forms for the wine club database. Information about each selection for the Kuhu Vineyard Monthly Wine Club is stored in the Access database. As purchasing manager, you use the database frequently and need to have several types of forms available to work with the data. Create a multiple item form and split the form. So again, let's get ready and launch our Access. In our backstage view, we're going to click open button. And of course, we're going to locate our project 10 data files. In our project 10 data files, we're going to select wine database and click open. Next, we're going to click enable content. Instruction number 2, let's go to your file and save database as. And we're going to save this as wines XX, where the XX is our initial. And we're going to save this in our folder and click save. Then again, we're going to click enable content so that we can modify your database. Instruction number 3, create a multiple item form for the read wine table. So first, let's go to your read wines table, double click to open the object, and let's go to your create tab, forms group, more form, and multiple item. Next, we're going to save this as read wine multiple item. So let's go to your read wine tab, then click save. And we're going to save this as read wines multi and click OK. Next, we're going to right click again our tab and click close to close the form. Next, we're going to create a multiple item form for the white wine table. So again, let's click our white wine table to open the object. Then let's go to your create tab, form group, more form button, and multiple item. Next, we're going to instruction number 6. We're going to name this as white wine multi and close the wine form. So right click and click save. We're going to key in white wines multi and click OK. Next, we're going to right click and click save close button. Next, let's activate our read wine table. And instruction number 8. We're going to create a split form for our red wine. So let's go to your create tab, more form, and click split form. We're going to name the form red wine split and close it. So again, right click on the red wine tab, click save, and we're going to save this as red wine split and click OK. And again, we're going to close the form. Instruction number 9. Create a split form for the white wine table. So we're going to activate our white wine table and go to create tab, form group, more form, and split form. Next, we're going to save this as white wine split. So right click on the white wine tab and click save. Key in white wine split and click OK. Next, we're going to close this. Right click on the tab, then close. So look at our navigation pane. We should have this following object. We have the red wine table and the red wine multiple item and the red wine split for our red wine database. And we have also your white wine table, white wine multiple item, and white wine split form for our white wines access. Instruction number 11, leave database open for our next project. And that's it for your project 10-3, create forms for the white wine club database. Let's proceed with your project 10-4, create a subform. As a purchasing manager for Kuhu Winery it would be helpful to view the data about the wines by distributor and create a subform that shows the read wines in monthly club by distributor. So again, we're going to use our database from our previous project. So we're going to use wines database from our previous activity, and let's go to your file and save database as. Just click yes, and we're going to save this as project that 10-4, close and open parenthesis. So just to indicate that this is our answer for our project 10-4, and click save. Again, click enabled content. Instruction number 1, on the create tab in the forms group, click form wizard. So let's go to your create tab, forms group, and of course form wizard. In the first screen on the form wizard, select table read wines in the tables and query box. So in our table and query box, we're going to select red wines, and we're going to move the bottle, label, and type fields to the selected field box. So let's start first with bottle, next label, next type. Next, instruction number 4, select table distributors in the tables and query box. So we're going to click the drop down list and select table distributor. Instruction number 5, move the company field to the selected box. So we're going to select company. Instruction number 6, in the second screen of the form wizard, choose the view for your data by distributor. So we're going to click next. And how do you want to view your data? So we're going to select by distributor. In the third screen of the form wizard, choose to view your data in tabular layout. So we're going to click next, and we're going to select tabular layout. In the final screen of the form wizard, accept the default form name and click finish. So we're going to click next, and we're going to accept all of this data and click finish. Instruction number 9, navigate to the third record to see which red wines in your monthly club are distributed by Northwind Trader. So let's go to your lowest portion of our window. We have your record 1. So we're going to click next record until we reach record 3. And the name of the company appears, Northwind Traders. And of course, the name of the wine is Clatu La Puente. Next, instruction number 10, close the form. So right click on the tab and click close. Next, instruction number 11, close the database. And that's it for our project 10-4, create a subform. So let's proceed with your project 10-5, modify split form. As the manager of the Southridge video, you create a split form to work with the use game information and the access database. However, when you open the form, it appears that someone has made changes because the datasheet is on the right and splitter bar is not visible. Change the form properties back to the way you want them. So again, let's open our Access. In our backstage view, click Open button. And we're going to locate the file in our Project 10 data file. Next, we're going to use game database and click Open. Next, click Enable Content so that we can modify the database. Instruction number 2, let's go to your file, click Save Database As, and we're going to save this as use game plus our initial and save it in our folder. And click Save. And then again, click Enable Content so that we can modify our database. Instruction number 3, open the Splitform game. So we're going to click this form in our navigation pane and double click to open the object. Next, switch to design view and open the form property. So let's go to your home tab, view group, and design view. Let's go to your form design tools, design, tools group, and property sheet. Instruction number 5, save the property to make the datasheet appears on the top. So let's go to your Splitform orientation, property. We're going to select datasheet on top. Next, change the property to make the splitter bar visible, thus allowing the form and datasheet to be resized. So let's go to your Splitform splitter bar, and we're going to click select yes. Next, change the form property so the form will open with the splitter bar in the same position in which you has left it. So we're going to select Splitform datasheet, and we're going to select we're going to save the splitter bar position, and we're going to select yes. So in order for us to retain the position of our splitter bar, we're going to go to your save splitter bar position, and we're going to select yes. Instruction number 8, change the property to allow edits to be made on the datasheet. So we're going to go to your Splitform datasheet property, and we're going to click allow edits. Next, instruction number 9, save the property to print only datasheet portion of the form. So we're going to go to Splitform printing, and we're going to select datasheet only option. Next, instruction number 10, switch to layout view. So let's go to your home tab, view group, and layout view. So we have two views in our database, and the upper portion is the datasheet view, and at the lower portion we have your form view. Next, instruction number 11, close the form and save the changes to the design when prompted. So right click, close, and do you want to save changes in the design? We're going to select yes. Instruction number 12, close the database. Right click and close. And that's it for your project 10-5, modify Splitform. Okay, so let's continue with your project 10-6, navigation, create a navigation form. Your son plays on a recreational league basketball team. And you have volunteered to manage the team's database, players, and statistics by tracking and updating data. In order to be able to quickly and efficiently update data, you decided to create a navigation form. So let's go and open our Access. Then let's go to your Open button. And we're going to locate our database in our Project 10 data files. We're going to use Stats Database and click Open. Next, we're going to click Enable Content. And let's go to your file, Save Database As. And we're going to save this as Stats. And of course, our initial. And we're going to save this in our folder and click Save. And then again, click Enable Content so that we can modify our database. Next. Instruction number 3, use stats table and the skills that you have learned in this lesson to create a navigation form using the vertical tab layout. So let's go to your games table, double click to open, and let's go to your create tab, forms group, more forms, navigation form. And of course, we're going to select vertical tabs, left layout. So vertical tabs, left layout. And that's it. So first, let's click Show Tables. And we have all the table here. So we're going to click Games, Players, and Stats. So in our stats, we're going to use this stats table to create a navigation pane. So let's start with ID, double click, and it will be added in our navigation form, and followed by the player, game, stats, and of course number. So we can see all the records of a player in our navigation form. Then click the close button to close the field list. And this is our final output. So we're going to right click on our navigation form and click Save. And we're going to save this as Games, Player, Stats, and navigation form, and click OK. Next, instruction number 5, close the database. So we're going to click the close button to close our database. And that's it for your project 10-6, create a navigation form. For your project 10, for this lesson, students, you're expected to submit the following database as your output. We have your Margis event, your answer in our project 10-4, your stats, toy stacks, use games, and of course, wines. And that's it for your lesson 10, advanced form laboratory activity. Thank you for your time, and again, see you in our next project.